them have huge impact on 2018-19 hoops season. Phoenix, App. The deadline for college players to withdraw from the NBA draft has a widespread impact, from the individuals involved to their families to the teams who may select them in June. The decisions made on or just before Wednesday's deadline also will have a lasting effect on the 2018-19 college basketball season. Teams losing key players will have to find replacements, possibly ending up in rebuilding mode. Teams who get their stars back will be eyeing NCAA tournament runs. A rundown of how some of the top teams fared at the NBA draft deadline. Winners: Auburn. Not only did coach Bruce Pearl pull together one of the nation's top recruiting classes despite the program being caught up in an FBI investigation, he will have 3 of his top underclassmen back. Bryce Brown, Jared Harper and Austin Wiley all opted to withdraw from the draft, possibly putting the Tigers in position to contend for an SEC title. North Carolina. Luke May, an App third-team All-American, decided to come back after testing the NBA waters, giving the Tar Heels 3 returning starters to go with the program's best recruiting class in years. He averaged 16.9 points and 10.1 rebounds last season. Gonzaga. The Zags could have been in a tough spot if Rui Hachimura, Killian Tillion, Zach Norville had all decided to leave early. All 3 are back, putting Gonzaga in position for another deep NCAA tournament run. Purdue. The Boilermakers lost 4 key seniors, but the return of Carson Edwards, a Big Ten Player of the Year candidate, and Nodal Eastern leave them in good shape for 2018-19. Florida. The Gators faced the prospect of losing their leading scorer from last season when Jalen Hudson declared for the draft. He didn't hire an agent and announced Tuesday he is coming back for his senior season, which should help Florida remain competitive in the SEC. Michigan. Charles Matthews' decision to pull out of the draft and return to Ann Arbor should lessen the loss of big man Mo Wagner, who declared for the draft and hired an agent. Matthews averaged 13 points after sitting out a season following a transfer from Kentucky. Losers: Villanova. The 2018 national champions will have to defend their title without 4 key players who left early. The Wildcats knew they'd lose National Player of the Year Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges after both signed with agents. Final 4 most outstanding player Dante DiVincenzo and Amari Spellman joined them, both saying this week they will remain in the draft. Maryland. The Terps knew they'd be without Justin Jackson after he signed with an agent. The return of Kevin Huerter could have softened the blow, but the sharpshooting forward opted Wednesday to remain in the draft, leaving Maryland without its top 2 players. At least the Terps will have Bruno Fernando, who decided to return for his sophomore season. Stanford. Reed Travis' decision was to withdraw from the NBA draft. That should have been good news for the Cardinal, but instead of being a top contender for Pac-12 Player of the Year in 2018-19 with them, Travis announced he would play elsewhere as a graduate transfer. Mixed bag: Boston College. The Eagles took a big hit when Jerome Robinson, the ACC's second leading scorer, opted to hire an agent and remain in the draft. His return would have given BC nearly its entire team back to pursue the program's first NCAA bid since 2009. The good news: Guy Bowman, the ACC's top returning scorer, decided to withdraw from the draft. UCLA. The Bruins lost one of the nation's best players when dynamic guard Aaron Holiday declared for the draft and hired an agent in March. UCLA's big loss was offset, at least to a degree, by the decisions of Chris Wilkes and Jalen Hands to return to Westwood. Freshman forward Cody Riley made it a trio staying at UCLA with a late announcement on Wednesday. Kansas. The Jayhawks lost Lagerald Vick and Malik Newman after both declared for the draft and signed with an agent. But Kansas got some good news on Wednesday when burly big man Udoka Azubuike announced he will return for his junior season instead of remaining in the draft. Michigan State. The Spartans will certainly miss Jaren Jackson and Miles Bridges after both hired agents. Michigan State received good news this week, though, when forward Nick Ward decided to head back to East Lansing, Kentucky. The Wildcats kept 1, lost 2. PJ Washington is staying in Lexington after averaging 10.8 points and 5.7 rebounds, but Jared Vanderbilt and Wenyan Gabriel are headed to the pros. Coach Cal has another strong recruiting class coming in, and the Wildcats could be in the running for Stanford's Travis, so they should be alright. App basketball writer Aaron Beard in Raleigh, North Carolina, contributed to this report. More app college basketball, https://collegebasketball.app.org and https://twitter.com/app_top25